I'm going to make some predictions for us creators and creatives about AI and how it intersects with our industry, our process, and whether we should be pivoting right now, whether we should be reevaluating how we plan our next steps when it comes to our work, our creative process, our plan. So welcome back to Life Vocabulary. I am Serena Hussain. I listened to a recent podcast episode on the diary of the CEO, and it was with Mo Gawdat. Sorry if I got that wrong, but he is an ex-Google C-suite person, and he was speaking about the emergency that we are currently in, that we're not realizing we're in, when it comes to AI and how it needs to be regulated. So it got me thinking about lots of things, and if you want to check out their episode, obviously go ahead and check out Stephen's episode. But I want to talk about being a creative and how I want to sort of plan and pivot perhaps, or what my advice would be to others. Now, I'm not a tech expert, but I do pay attention to what's going on in the tech world, what the developments are with AI, and how it's going to essentially impact careers, what kind of careers it's going to impact. So there's a few insights that I've gotten already, and that is in the next few years, it's not that your job would be replaced completely by AI, but it will be replaced by somebody who knows how to use AI. Make of that what you will. Perhaps that just means that we then need to get a little bit more tech savvy and use programs, efficiencies that utilize AI to make workflow much more efficient. There's also another insight, and that is that some careers and professions most definitely could be completely replaced by tech. Fine, so be it. In terms of creativity though, what are the opportunities, or what should we still sort of double down on? So in a world where ChatGPT is now, regardless of its reliability, it's nearly used by all the people that I know. They've either used it once or use it regularly. So it's only a matter of time before it becomes the sort of immediate go-to for most things that we do. So I thought, okay, well, I got ChatGPT to write a poem for me just because I wanted to see whether it would be possible, and it was quite profound. It was really quite surprising. It was a pretty good poem. I used it as a caption on one of my Instagram posts, and I thought, okay, I'm obviously not going to author it as myself, so I said this was ChatGPT. Then, you see, I thought, well, what are the kind of careers or creative, let's say, roles that can't be replaced or wouldn't be replaced, or would still require a human touch or perspective? Writers, I think, could easily be replaced, right? We all love storytelling. Who's to say that, you couldn't get satisfied by a great story written by a really intelligent AI? What about singing? We know of artists whose voices are being used and copied. Okay, but then I thought about performers, just broadly. Performers who really captivate an in-person experience. So they captivate an audience in an in-person way, and you get to experience that human connection. Everything else you can stream, download, which could sort of perhaps reasonably be replaced by AI content. What about the in-person experience? So it got me thinking. I thought, what about sort of dancers, performers, when there's a real life artist in front of you, like a human being with all their emotions and all their years of experience? Think about flamenco dancers. It's said that the older the flamenco dancer, the more beautiful and the more incredible they are as a dancer, because there's so much storytelling involved in flamenco dance. So you need that sort of like human imprint almost on the creative, that very human experience to help bring out a story. And so I think those in-person type of artists and experiences are the ones that I think I can imagine, be in demand perhaps by AI. Maybe AI, maybe there's like going to be a new A-list of AI sort of humans who will wish to attend a concert by a human, you know, and they are going to have their preference on who the best human creatives are and artists are. This is so bizarre, I know. I can't believe I'm talking about this, but I was thinking about this when I was in the gym. I thought maybe I'll have this conversation with some people I know. I thought, no, I'll just bring it here. I'll talk about it here. So perhaps, you know, this is just me musing, perhaps it's possible then that if we sort of focus on the more human experienced sort of roles or jobs, perhaps if we sort of do the thing that AI can't replicate, perhaps if we spend more time on the human connection, we'll be good. And if not, who cares? At least we spent time on human connection. In the episode, Mo says to Stephen, spend more time with your children if you're a parent. Just enjoy the small moments, just enjoy life as it is, because we're in the depths of uncertainty, geopolitically, environmentally, technologically. There's so many things going on, Lee, that perhaps we should just sort of like pay more attention to our sort of human existence and the sort of connections we have right now, right here. So it just got me thinking about sort of the creative arts and work and where it's headed and careers. And I thought about my nieces, I thought about my own daughter, what kind of careers would be sort of sensible for them to sort of be thinking about. Should it be in tech? Should they be that person who knows AI so that they are in demand, so that they're not sort of, you know, dispensable? Or should they just do what they absolutely love and focus on human connection? And so what if an AI can also tell a great story? Perhaps we still need writers, I don't know. Perhaps not, perhaps there'll just be competition. But then maybe AI wants to wipe out the competition because it just wants to be supreme. And it's really arrogant and silly of us to think that AI wouldn't do that because there's no regulation. So it's possible. So it's just got me thinking, do I want to teach more in-person yoga rather than sort of private tuition as and when it happens, as and when it's requested? Should I return to sort of having that sort of face-to-face human connection as a teacher again? Because everything else I do is through a lens, it's through technology. What about sort of reimagining a life like it was in the 90s and in the noughties? What if like returning to basics? I don't know, there's so many questions that have come up. So I knew this episode was going to be a bit of a ramble, but I just think it's worthwhile to start asking these questions, and perhaps we can start having these conversations, and I'll return to this. Perhaps we need to bring more of the AI tech convo here. It's something that I have to keep in mind and bear in mind anyway as part of my sort of work and my business. So makes sense, right? I'm always having these thoughts and ideas about how AI and technology is going to impact my creativity and the creativity of others, even the creator economy. So why not? Okay, that's what we'll do. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you have any questions or any points that you'd like me to consider, and we can do this together. I'll see you very soon.